just came to my mind is I'm going to become inundated with the Bahamas. I can't do the Anna Nicole show because I'm not going to have internet. I'm not paying for that. Right. I think the day pass to the Royal Beach Club includes Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I see that MSC has a pretty cheap cruise that would go right after the second cruise. Yeah, you have to pay. I have to pay more because I'm by myself. You don't just pay for you. Yeah, if you're not per person, that's why my Bahamas thing, it's actually free if it's just me. It's the opposite of a cruise. It's free if it's just me. I'd have to, if a second person, you have to pay. Right, so I have to pay for the ferry. I kind of think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I think even though it would be warmer if I waited, I got to see if it's available. Right. I'll just do that right after the second cruise, so that gives me a couple more days and change my flight. Because yeah, I'm going to have to lose the flight. I'm losing flights for this dude anyway. I bought non-refundable, non-changeable flights. I know you just go, no, because in life, folks, just take the loss. Just take the loss. Don't stay with the person where you go, yep, I better pay $50 more per ticket in case Brian flips out and takes off again. No, you just take the loss so you learn an effing lesson and never do it again. Take the loss and never do it again. That's why I said Tuesday night when I couldn't sleep, I went, I am never letting another person do this to me again. Nope. Doesn't mean I believe in the world and I understand the world. Nope. Just I am never letting another person do this to me again. Ever. That's two of them. Does that mean I think every single dude lies? No, but a woman can live her life without a dude. Right? You just go, there's just too many of them. Too many of them. Right? Just never, ever, ever again. Luckily, yeah, I think it was $78 for two one ways back from Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so half of that I'm losing. I think it was under 200 for two people to Fort Lauderdale on JetBlue. So half of that I'm losing, and then listen to the amount of trains I'm losing. Okay, a train to New York City on December 30th, a train back from New York City on the 31st, a train to New York City on the 3rd, and a train back from New York City on the 6th, 15th, or 16th. That's a lot of money that's just going right in the toilet because of this coming back. You have no money coming back. Add all that up. Add all that up. You have no money coming back to you. He knows that too. That's just a bunch of nonsense. We're an abuser. Just like when he turned to me at the campground and goes, you can't pay off your cruise. Like even a dude with $400 a month thinks he's going to trap a person and cement them to him. It's fucking insane. Oh yeah, that is fucking insane. Dude, she wouldn't even stay with the guy who had her set up in a fucking mansion with a swimming pool and like he just does not get it. That's part of grandiosity. Your dick doesn't even work like you thought you were going to be able to convince her with the dick that doesn't even fucking work, and then you can't resist the urge to withhold it from her because you're sadistically insane. I was living in a mansion. I know, you just go, you know how many vacations I was taking a year? And the guy's buying me things or whatever. I'm swimming in a pool. I'm living in Florida. Like, what the fuck? $400 a month is going to keep me put up with it because you thought I didn't have a cruise paid off. It was already paid off. Surprise. That's why I didn't say anything, because I was paying off the second one. It was already paid off. And it wasn't even final payment. I could have paid $200 and changed it to something else. Just that alone, just the whole Harold Parker after taking off at Porter, just the whole Harold Parker. As soon as he thought I booked another week, he literally didn't want me to go into the shelter for 6 weeks, but he doesn't wanna leave me out there? That does nothing he says makes any sense. That's why I said anyone and everyone. So whatever opportunity came up Tuesday, it was get rid of Mary. It's like he probably thought that person was gonna let him move in. I know you go, "You are so fucking stupid even for a user. You would have been here till the warming center opened." Oh, yeah. It's not worth it. It's not worth it because he's not doing what he wants to do. It's just too horrifying for a person like that to be fucking normal. Just Thanksgiving meal, sleeping in warmth, to watching TV, get someone cooking your food, tooling around on your phone. Oh, yeah, just there's only one reason and one reason only, and yeah, after this morning, I guess it probably does have something to do with that dude that gave him 40 bucks. It's possible that one of the times I went to the toilet or something, that guy was in there again, or he was outside, something, or it was someone on Facebook. Because what would possess a person at 10:10 at night to just go, I don't have to stay with her? And from 10:10 at night till what was it, Wednesday afternoon? From 10:10 at night Tuesday till, Wednesday, or was it Thursday? It might have been Thursday, I can't remember now what day he texted me. It might have been, Wednesday afternoon or Thursday, right? Because he says right in the text, the dude made him leave. That's why he didn't contact me before then. "Oh, yeah, just I can't do this anymore." Yeah, just that complete emotionalist tone, like Mike Myers too. Just, anyways, gonna have to eat something soon. I went like a couple days. First, I went Wednesday where I didn't eat anything because I was in the hotel, and then Thursday I didn't eat until dinner time, and then yesterday I didn't eat until dinner time. I did get offered to go out for the day today, and I said, "No, thank you." Yeah, like I did 2 days, and I no, it's not like maybe the next outing. That's just too much for me. It really is. Like I'll start to get sort of like fidgety and bitchy, and I'll actually probably smoke more cigarettes. No, I like. Thank you very much. Like I understand it because you want to help a person, so I'm not sitting in an apartment crying and upset. It's not September of 2024. Like, that was wicked bad, I remember. I'll never experience that again. Yeah, I'll never experience that again. That was so horrifying for me. Just completely, like, didn't believe in God. I just kept, like, doing that, like, silent screaming in my head. I just had, like, so much grief over it. And I've never been like that again, because that was right after the wedding. And you know that you got raped. You know that some disgusting sex offender just raped you and then he's calling you an old cunt, "Give me all your money." Like, I never saw Brian behave like that. I mean, taking off from Faulkner Hospital and stuff is one thing because it's all under the guise of I'm mentally ill and I'm using and stuff. No, it's not just that. Right? You just go, right. The persona, I did attempt to text me, like I said, the persona did with the typical stuff. Well, let's act like nothing happened. Don't say you're sorry. Nothing. Nothing. Just stayed at my friend's place for 2 nights. I got to sleep outside tonight, though. He said I'm boring. Okay, you don't have to sleep outside, right? And then later on, because I don't respond to it, I'm a mean woman. I sent him a link to my live streams. There you go. I mean, I'm not doing this text shit. Nope. Clearly, after listening to even the first live stream, he's not gonna contact me again. Right. When a person like that, just like I told you what happened with Phil, and Phil wasn't even bad like that. Phil was like a dog. When a person like that realizes, yeah, she meant what she said Tuesday night. She really did. Right. She meant what she said when she turned and said, "You can go fuck yourself," in that tone. Um, and then you screaming at her, and you not even talking about it when we're sitting on the bench. You don't carry the bag. You don't talk about it while we're sitting on the bench, and you just make a kiss motion with your mouth. All I said was, "I can't believe some of the things you say to me, Brian. I really can't." And then it starts with the "I can't say anything right." I guess you can't. I guess you really can't say anything right. It's like when, remember in June outside the library? Yeah, let's just sit here. And he goes, "Oh yeah, there's been a lot of that going on." Remember? Because he thought he was all fucking athletic and shit and riding a fucking blue bike around. Never again. Oh yeah, I used to watch Phil Donahue with these husband and wives, where a husband refuses his wife to that, like a dog, and then acts like they do stuff and starts talking about how the wife doesn't. She's a fat ass now, and she doesn't do anything. That's what he was doing to me in June. Oh yeah, I'm gonna ride a blue bike once, and then I'm gonna act like you're a fat ass and you're lazy and you don't do anything. That's I think that's why I blocked him and never unblocked him. And then he called me from Mass General, which is a different phone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it has not. He thinks calling me a cunt now is like the biggest dagger he can throw at me. He didn't even throw in old cunt this time for whatever reason. Probably because of the way I look. Get real, fucking lunatic. That's the woman that dude was saying was an old cunt. Not once, but twice. That's his fucking wife. Love, honor, and cherish. No one's ever gonna go out with him. No, no one's ever gonna go out with him. Trust me. Um, so that's the woman that he called an old cunt twice. Holy shit. Holy shit. Right. So in June, when he said old cunt, because that's the dagger that gets rid of me. After I said something about, what are you talking about? You're actually going to say something to me now about I'm lazy? What the fuck? That guy wouldn't even like walk around back and forth to the bathroom to piss in 2023. He didn't have the physical strength to do it. And then on top of now piling all that weight on me and making me fucking carry it around, that is not a completely deranged fucking person. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's sadistic insanity if you don't understand sadism in a person that has major clinical depression. Right. And then once you do that to me, and I explained it about Tom with the vape and why I couldn't leave this dude for 5 minutes and what happened at the bathhouse, then first they stop you from putting on your makeup, brushing your hair, dressing nice, working out, talking to your friends. They stop you from doing it, like you wouldn't let me fucking shower. And then they start saying how disgusting you are. No one's ever going to go out with him. It's the World Wide Web. He just lives in some alternate fucking universe. He's so sick. And then you go on the internet and talk about me. Remember? Ring off. Go to Facebook, ring on. I just like to get a rise out of you. That's what he fucking said to me a year ago. And you just look at a person like, what are you on? Is that from that marijuana or the Adderall? Like, yeah, just. You can tell from a live stream. Okay, it's not like the other times. It's just like June, but he was in a coma, so he didn't know that. Right. There was a few videos from Castle Island, and I told them that too. That when he was in the hospital, I started walking again. I was doing my walks again. Yeah, like that's when you know you go, the person you're now nothing but an abuser. Now you're at the point of it's nothing but a toxic. For the 5 months, it's nothing but a toxic at that point. Right? Because as soon as you did that, I'm back to my walks. And I'm doing little videos that were deleted off YouTube, by the way, because I have no idea that you're in a hospital. So I felt like maybe take them off, or I'm just calling you a maggot repeatedly. Um, right. And then it's every day to the hospital for a month for this person. No friend is there. People he knows all know he's in the hospital. None of them come to visit him. His family never comes back again. He doesn't have a fucking friend. Right? Friend in the lingo means a John, like a person that's paying for sex. And sometimes paying for sex is you have a place to sleep that night. That's paying for sex. I've seen it displayed to me how he acted in the hotel in December, because that's not a married couple. That's not a boyfriend. I'm not a sexual virgin, so I know. Where we get to the hotel, right? And then he actually will say, "Yeah, let me take a shower so we can get this out of the way." Okay? Then it's the person does whatever the person wants to do with him, and then it's probably using, eating, taking your medication, and sleeping. I think there's been times that he reported to me where they're partying together, and then the person pays for a place, and then they're mad because they keep trying to wake him up to have sex. Because you're a prostitute. Anyways, I guess I'll have one more cigarette. I probably shouldn't drink any more coffee, but I bought myself some pumpkin spice stuff. So. Lazy Sunday after 2 busy days. I don't regret for a second any of my actions. Any sane person would have done the same thing. No person, given him coming over to where I was sleeping and what he said to me, no person would go follow him to find out where he went. Nope. None of it makes sense. Okay? A person would have just followed me exactly where we sleep, okay, and put his shit down beside me and went to fucking sleep. He snuck around the back of the library so he wouldn't talk to me. But I need to calm down. Take the cardboard, move it to another area, and then come back and say you want your fucking EBT card. Don't text your sister. I don't text her, so you take off, so I will text her. It was all sabotaged on purpose to go do what Brian does. And that's the last time I'm talking to or seeing Brian Buchanan again. Eventually, I'll file for the annulment, and then they'll mail it to his mailing address. And I don't think that there even has to be like a court thing, because it's domestic violence and stuff. So there's not a reason for that. It's sort of like when he got the weird restraining order, temporary restraining order, and then didn't show up. I don't think he'd show up for the hearing. Yeah, I don't. First of all, how often is he going to check his mail? Okay. And then I don't think he'd show up for the hearing. I'd show up if I even have to show up, and then the judge just grants me an annulment. It takes a very short amount of time to get an annulment in the state of Massachusetts. It's not a divorce. They don't put us through that. Because I know someone that went through it. She married a drug addict that was just using her for Section 8. He went into a detox and met someone else, and she went and got an annulment. It was a matter of days. It was like maybe 2 weeks. And she couldn't understand it because she was about to get a Section 8, because he doesn't actually want to live with you. Right. He doesn't actually want to live with you and he doesn't want to have sex with you, and that's why he met someone else. And some of them can't even bear to like have sex with you when they're just trying to use you for things. So it makes it difficult for them. They can't use you for housing, especially if they're not supposed to be using while they're with you. Because if they're prostituting themselves, they're getting high and drunk first, and then they have a place to sleep, and that makes sense to them when there's a shelter they can go to. It's called Pine Street Inn, Woods Mullen, Father Bill's place. You folks are not me. Nope, you folks are not me. You can sit up in a chair, you can lay down and be separated from the males and the females. You can be around other drug addicts and drunks because you're not me. No intention to get sober, so you can be around other drunks and drug addicts. You beat other people up, you threaten other people, you threaten females. You don't need to be protected from other males that are violent. I guess this is one of the ones that people like to talk about. Um, is this thing about illegal orders? Apparently, they like that one. That's the discussion that I've been told. I don't know if someone like that dude, because he's so grandiose and doesn't care when he's desperate for a place to whatever, when you have a shelter. The problem with Father Bill's is they wouldn't give him a bed. And then he went to Pine Street. He slept at Pine Street a couple of nights. Why would you blow off your therapist and blow off the chick who's supposed to be getting you a one-bedroom apartment for brain injury? Because it's the grotesque deviance and shit. It's terrible. That's why he got kicked out of the fucking. He basically, from what I can gather, he walked away from a halfway house. Yeah, from what I can gather, he went after he took off from Faulkner Hospital. He hung around with Colleen and them for a while, and I'm sure it got boring for Colleen because she realized we weren't together anymore. That I told him never to contact me again. Not only were we not together anymore, I got rid of him essentially when he made that one phone call. Right. Um, which he probably only made. I don't know because I hadn't had it. Was I on Facebook? That might be why, because I was on Facebook. So that's why he made the one call after Faulkner Hospital. Of course, she doesn't want anything to do with you at that point. He says they hung around after that. So that was his girlfriend. That was literally his girlfriend at some point in time. He said she started hanging out with me, that she's always got to have somebody because she had a house. Right. And her husband left her. So, anyways, what was I saying? Then, like, yeah, his stories don't make sense. Okay, just know that. Was he hanging out with Colleen while he was in the halfway house? Because first he'll tell me that he was hanging out with Colleen after he took off from fucking hospital. Then he'll tell me that he immediately went back in the hospital after he took off from fucking hospital. That he was all fucked up and hallucinating and shit. And he went back to the hospital, went um, to a detox, went through CSS, and was put in a halfway house. He'll tell you he was there for 5.5 months, but it doesn't add up. Okay, at what point in time were you quote unquote hanging around with Colleen then? Okay, so he was leaving a halfway house and going back to Quincy and Weymouth to get high and shit. And then he basically blew off a halfway house. Until they give him like an SRO where he can use. He said they weren't doing your analysis at the halfway house, so maybe that's why they weren't. He wasn't supposed to be using, he wasn't supposed to be smoking marijuana, but he said he was using a vape because they didn't do drug testing. Okay, so he was clearly using the whole time he was at that halfway house. So I say he just left it. Yeah, I think it sounds like he just left it, that he self sabotaged his own housing. Because I was going to say, until they put him in an SRO where he doesn't have rules like that, you're not going to know. Right. So at that point, he'll probably end up put in prison. Yeah, he'll end up going to prison the next time he does something, and no more pardons, no more probation. He'll go to prison just so that he's contained somewhere. Or he'll go to Bridgewater State Hospital, depending on what the doctor determines and the judge. Yeah, like he's already been through the system. He's already been through the system. That's the system, folks. All right, that's the system. You go to detox, you go to CSS, you go to TSS, you're put in a halfway house, you're not even being drug tested, and you just take off from a halfway house. And then you're arrested multiple times because I'm going to court with you. I'm with you the entire time at that point. That's better than being beaten to death on the street. So, but a person, when your mental faculties are that bad that you walk away from a halfway house that was letting you use, I know. I go back to thinking what he did in Orlando. He must get annoyed with being told to bathe and change his clothes because I've seen him react to it sometimes where he just goes, I just did that 3 days ago or something. And changing his clothes before taking a shower just because he doesn't want to carry dirty clothes. When we're going back and forth to a storage, you're not carrying it for days. Yeah, just I don't really buy that excuse really anymore about not wanting to carry a bag of clothes like that outfit that day. Just something about it. Some people are nasty like that where they choose to be nasty in every way. Yeah, like why after the haircut and the new glasses and the trim, the beard trim, and the new clothes and the bathing all the time and stuff, why wouldn't you stop brushing your teeth and using mouthwash all the time? Do you need a toothbrush, toothpaste? You want mouthwash all the time? All right. So anyway, I said I wasn't going to keep talking about him, but that's it's not like venting like on Facebook. I'm telling you, that's the only reason that Facebook popped up. They thought that was it, what it was going to be, and because it wasn't, every post now they say they removed my post because of spam. Okay, I'm telling you, it's dementia because I said something about when you block people, hit block and spam. I don't think you get their voicemails anymore when you do that. Otherwise, you're still going to get their voicemails. He's been unblocked. I couldn't figure out how to unblock him Tuesday night. Right. He's been unblocked. Nope. He didn't contact me. I'm telling you, it was either Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon because he didn't have another person to cling on to and go to their housing. That's why. I guess, but I prefer that the cops leave people alone. Yeah, I really do. Unless he's bothering people where he is, I don't think you should start going around telling people they not to be outside. Like they're not Brian Buchanan. Don't start going up to people going, "There's no reason why you have to be outside." Okay, that's just for his bullshit, not of everybody else. There's no reason for you not to go in a shelter because you're not with Mary anymore. And you're not sober and you're never going to be sober. I'm going to eventually go back to smoking pot because this stuff isn't getting me high. Just go to Pine Street Inn. He doesn't like Father Bill's because he doesn't have a bed. Just go to Pine Street Inn. That's where you live now. Stay in Dorchester. Isn't that where it is? He said it was off of Broadway. I thought it was in Dorchester. Whatever. Don't you want to go there and embarrass me to Casey? Because that's where Casey lives, unless she left. And Scott and Tracy. Believe me, none of those people thought that our relationship was ever going to work. They're not going to be surprised. Every time they see him somewhere or me, they think that we're broken up, anyways. They notice every fucking thing. Oh, yeah. And then that means that I'm going to go back to Father Bill's. No, it doesn't. Absolutely is never going to mean that. Most people aren't going to wait for 3 hours to get into a warming center. Those are people that really don't want to go to Pine Street. Get it? Yeah. Those are people that really don't want to go to Pine Street. I was already told by people from Father Bill's, right? It's worse with the drugs and the alcohol. So you just go, there's some people, they don't care if they can sleep on the floor or not. Yeah, they just aren't going to go there. And I mean, obviously, if you're going to freeze to death, if you can't get into the warming center, but that's why they're standing in line at a warming center because they know it's safe there. It's safe there. Nobody even talks. So it's fantastic, right? You don't have every fucked up person coming up to you trying to start a fucked up conversation. Oh, I'm from Foxborough too. And then they're gone the next day. It's fucking gross. And then this is the other thing too. Like I said, that dude, that became some excuse to stop fucking talking to me and then abusing me. Like I'm his fucking friend now. Oh yeah, Brian, man, he's something something. Really? Get the fuck away from me, dude. Okay, so what I was saying, this means this is talk about boring, man. And I've noticed that this actually has meaning to you guys. Okay, it has meaning. It makes sense. And then you've got to explain it to me because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know the words that you're saying. I'm not making fun of you. I'm dead set serious. Okay, I don't understand what that means. What is it? Trump's orders and stuff. Okay. Do they say what they're talking about? What orders? What did he give that are illegal? These people could go on a TV and just talk word salad, and people make sense of it. It's a different species to me. I just and I don't want to know. I don't. I actually don't need it really intricately explained to me. Just okay. I'm trying really not to vacillate into total, like glory about all the cancers. Yeah. But I think it's good to keep talking about the Kennedy with the cancer and other people with the cancer and then see if the population can, you know, do that. Maybe you might find someone who finally wants to house all the homeless people and give them their Social Security when they're forced to go into from denial, maybe get away from denial and anger and bargaining, maybe. Can the bargaining be that you're going to finally house the homeless and stop holding hostages here? Can that be the bargaining? She said she's in acceptance, that she's gotten to acceptance. What is she, 35? And she has terminal cancer. She's going to die. And that she knows she's not going to rebirth in this physical form and that she's at an acceptance. And she doesn't really have anybody that can tell her what's going to happen after she dies, if anything. I don't know the answer to that. Yes, quote unquote, know if a person is going to stay here in this physical form. And they know because they read the book and they read it with an open mind and asked God to explain to them the truth. I guess I can check Facebook for that. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. Don't check Facebook for anything because they won't let me post anything because I'm not at replying Brian Buchanan's Facebook. I have no reason to be doing that. I went over in a uploaded video a little bit ago my thoughts about why he would keep the Facebook page with our wedding photo saying he's married. Because he's found that it's easier for him to pick up John's doing that. And psychopaths that want to steal him away from me and compete with me. He's found that that works for him. There's nothing calm in what do you call it, mediated or whatever with Brian Buchanan because I always wondered each and every time. I think there was only one time he changed his photo, and it was to him at the showers. Get it? Okay. He purposely posted a photograph of himself at the public showers as a message to Johns, meaning people that pay for sex. He did it one time and never did it again. He's always left the wedding photo up there. He must think I look good in it. I know it is sort of almost like two sad, pathetic dudes that can't fuck me, so they're gonna fuck each other. Yeah, it does seem like that, doesn't it? It's so gross. Especially if you're transferring, you're doing a transference of your mother onto me. You can't fuck your mother, so you're gonna fuck each other. Then she said she was thinking about having sex with me, but then I didn't do anything. And then when she left the next morning, I flipped out and was pissed that she left me. Ah, Brian is acting weird and won't stop trying to have sex with me. I told you she lost her own husband over that shit. Same fixation on me and the same fixation on the dude that she thought I wanted to be with. Yeah, she's not with that dude anymore, so he didn't believe her fucking shit either. And I'm sure he didn't care, other than catching diseases. Like, you realize I'm never having sex with you again, right? And it's not because I care about you, but because I don't want to catch a disease. I don't believe you for 1 second that you people didn't screw around. How were you doing that while I went to get Adderall or whatever the fuck her boyfriend was doing? I know you just go, oh my God, I'm making up an excuse to get away from you, and you're up here putting that guy's penis in your mouth. He doesn't even bathe because that his wife is pretty. I'm not catching herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV because his wife is pretty. Sorry, I don't need drugs that bad over and out, I'm sure. Because that dude was like in his 20s or something. You just go, he may come around again in 6 months, right? And go, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. But he ain't gonna have sex with her. He'll just be like, until she gives him fucking drugs and shit. Everybody has a point of line they can't cross anymore where you go, I'm using you for drugs and sex, and now you're like that dude you're having sex with when I purposely take off from you. I don't know why I can just picture my friend Jerry laughing at that because other people know these people and they tell me about them and you just go, I didn't say it was Jerry. You just go, other people know these people, they tell me about them. They're like, it's even worse than you're even saying, Mary. Like, believe me, I know these people. It's even worse. Some point in time, I have to walk and get tubes. Oh, that's not good. I think I'll actually end up taking a little bit of a nap today. Yeah, because I'm gonna eat some food during the day. I'm gonna eat a whole pound of peanuts and dried pigs. So I know I'm probably gonna take a little nap after the past couple of days. Nice. I was telling my sister last night. I feel better now. I can tell I went into a shock. But plus, like I said, I'm carrying a backpack, my purse, and this huge reusable shopping bag with all the sleeping gear in it. So my arm is like perpetual, like bird. And just, and then when someone does something like that, like Brian, you immediately tense up. You immediately tense up because you just, right, you're waiting for it. And then, yeah, I could tell that my back muscles were a little bit tight or whatever last night. It's better now. Remember that film, Irreconcilable Differences? Remember that? Like the guy didn't really do it to her, but yet he did, because didn't he cheat on her? And then she got like real fat, Shelley Long, and then she saw herself at the grocery store mirror, just eating food and all fat, and she just went, "That's it," and got herself back into shape. Didn't he try to go back with her after that too? I know you just go, whoa. That's why it's called irreconcilable differences. That just means that you want a divorce and not because you used to have a reason to get a divorce. You know? I would say that he probably wanted to get a divorce the second that Father Bill said they weren't going to give us housing. Yeah, that's when he wanted a divorce. I think that he probably would have stayed with Colleen had she not taken off because she had a boyfriend. I can't even see her being desperate enough to stay with Brian because if she doesn't already have sexually transmitted diseases, she's gonna get them. Right? She's gonna get them if she doesn't already have them by going out with him. I really think because someone told me she's just going to use him for his Adderall and ditch him, and that's exactly what she did because he knows her. It's a friend of hers. That's why she called him. Right. And he swore up and down that that's not why she was talking to him because of his Adderall. Okay. Did you give her Adderall? He'll say he doesn't give people Adderall. Okay. He went with her because she had booze. You had an income at the time. That doesn't even make any fucking sense, Brian. It was the beginning of November, wasn't it? Or mid-November when he just took off with my sleeping bag? Wasn't that the middle of no? It was before Thanksgiving, obviously. It had to be the beginning or the middle of November. So how many pay cycles were there? You had an income, you were getting paid, and you had a SNAP food card, and you do surveys, and you could have stayed in the stairwell with John and Donnie getting booze. That is not why you were with her. It had nothing to do with booze. I said it before. Right. I said it before. I still think, and I told him I had this whole discussion with him last December when he went into Gavin. Okay. I still think that even though it might be just dysfunction and transference to his mother, I still think that he actually liked Colleen. It lacks sense the number of times that he's gone back and forth with her. I actually think he liked her and he would have made that his girlfriend. And because she had a boyfriend at the time and he's so fucking disgusting and he's married, She wouldn't do it. She actually went, I'm not interested in this. And he got flipped out by that. He got wicked flipped out by that. Colleen had a friend of hers beat the fuck out of him, that guy Jay. That's Colleen's friend. Yeah. She had him beat the fuck out of Brian, not I did. And Brian actually didn't even want to believe that it was her. Even when he was telling people it was her, he blamed me for it. That's how delusional he was about her. He would rather believe that his own wife told the guy to beat him up than Colleen did it. That's why it would be amazing if he went looking for her and she went, dude, I don't want anything to do with you. Yeah, like say that, I don't know, I couldn't imagine her being sober, but if she was on her psych meds and stuff and had a rooming house and had a boyfriend, she was with a guy the last time I saw her. Brian and I both saw her. She's still fucking hanging around Quincy Center. Same shit. She's never going to leave that place. That's a person who owned a house and lost it because of her lifestyle. Lost a husband, lost her house. She's never going to change. It's sad. She's still fucking hanging around Quincy Center. Yep. So, in with some dude. So, that would be amazeballs to me. You just go, oh my god, just oh yeah, just Colleen, she's always goes with me, and you just be like, dude, I don't want anything to do with you. Do you have Adderall? No, I don't like you. You thought I liked you? No, I just hung around with you because it's a person to party with, and you have Adderall. A bunch of people. A bunch of people? I know I'm bad, but I don't think that will happen either way. He contacts Nick or Manit, or he goes to an emergency room and no one will give him Adderall. Just watch a person completely fucking flip out. I don't think they like people flipping out, even though we sometimes like, because we don't have to deal with the ramifications of it. I know, just to see a camera in the room where a dude tries to get Adderall at this point from anybody but buying it off the street. Yeah, just a look on a dude's face when every person to get Adderall from goes, that that's not in your medical record. You're not prescribed Adderall. And everything is talked to him like he's completely fucking brain damaged and retarded, because in a sense he is. And you just go, did you forget about the brain injury? Okay. Right, you're not prescribed Adderall anymore because of the brain injury. Right, enough of the unfortunately to Mary about dental cleanings and medical checkups and eyeglasses. How about in the apartment in Louise? How about unfortunately Brian and everybody like him? Um, because of the brain injury, you can't be prescribed Adderall anymore. So, how have you been doing since June? Are you able to focus? Well, I would say, and this is how actually a doctor would talk to a person. It's not fake. This part of it, I would say, because you're upset because you and your wife broke up, and you're frightened because you're outside and you're used to being with someone. Um, because you would have had some sort of an issue between June and the end of November if it was because you needed to be on Adderall. And you kept up with your therapist and Scholastica, your provider, you kept up with them. You had telehealth with them and everything was going fine, right? And you were taking all your meds as prescribed. Right. I don't think it's that you need Adderall. I think you're just having an upset and give yourself a little bit of time and then just watch, see if he shows his true self at that point. He started getting angry at the CVS in Central because they wouldn't give him Adderall. It wasn't time for his prescription to be filled. Wasn't that before? Yeah, it had to be before, right before he took off in June, right before then. Remember when he flipped out at Star Market and the nice woman wasn't even there to see it? It would have been good if she was there to see it when he flipped out on the manager at Star Market and said, "Give me my fucking money." When it was PayPal that it was Amazon Prime that took his money off his PayPal. It wasn't Star Market. So just know if he comes into an urgent care or an emergency room or Gavin Foundation or anywhere, that he does get like that. He gets irrational like that. He'll do it on purpose so you give him Ativan. Just give him fucking Ativan. Who cares? Give him any fucking drug he wants as far as I'm concerned. Does anyone care if that guy burns his brain out with Adderall? If you're not going to put a person like that in Bridgewater State Hospital, just give him any medication he wants. That's probably Nick Madeira talking, right? If a person is going to be that violent, just give him any drug he wants. That's how people get things nowadays, through violence. Healthcare workers don't want to be attacked. People that are drug counselors because they're drug addicts, not they were drug addicts, they're drug addicts that work at Gavin don't want to be attacked. That's why they kicked him out of there. That's probably why he was so successful before the brain injury about getting the drugs. Because I honestly think even at Spalding, if he kept pressing them, they would have given him Adderall too. He was still in his persona then, and I'm gonna take him camping for 6 weeks and shit. There wasn't a reason to flip out. Yeah, I also think he thinks that guy Troy is purposely following him around. So maybe that's one of his guys that is secretly gay. Because I saw him a couple times. I think he was actually around Harvard and shit too. That's one of his go-to people. People that don't care that someone's using them and stuff. I explained it. They don't care. But the second that they don't need you for something, then they go on to the next person. It is cold. God for door locks, huh? Oh yeah, I will say this. I did get secretly scared. The text that said "see you later," which probably just means, that's him trying to be see you later. Um, yeah, because clearly he knows where she lives, but there's not really a desire to come here, so that's good. And we were gone all day for 2 days in a row, and we could have been gone all day today. God will make sure that guy stays away. Just like last November and December, the half of December, most of December. For some reason, I'm pretty sure last December when he showed up at Stop and Shop, it was probably the 22nd of December because my daughter's birthday is the 23rd of December. I'm pretty sure he went into Gavin on like the 23rd of December. And they allowed him to stay there for like a month and a half. I think I'll have some peanuts and figs now. I know, I still haven't gone to get tubes. It's freaking cold. Oh my god. But once you start walking, you're okay. It is cold today. I'm gonna have to bundle up like I did when I was sleeping outside to get onto a mat at the warming center. I need to Google them too and see if they're finally saying they're definitely gonna be open. Just for the record too, the warming center in Malden, I did email them and they never got back to me. Um, I guess I could come December 1st do the lottery again for sign up for the lottery for Harvard. I don't think they're going to have any more beds the rest of the year. I remember this from last year. Yeah, once it starts getting cold, those people don't give up their beds. So, but I can do it. I won't have to do it for January because I'm going to be gone the whole month of January. I'll be gone the entire month of January. Because you have Christmas and New Year's, okay? And I'm going somewhere for the 30th for like 24 hours. And then it's New Year's. And then I go on a vacation for 11 nights and then 4 nights. And then I'm planning on doing another 3 nights. So that's a lot of nights, right? 11, and then the days in between. So the second cruise ends on 19, 20, 21, 22 on the 23rd. So, yeah. And then if you went 25, 26, 27, that's pretty much the whole month of January. February's still cold. I have to get through December and February and then March. March is still somewhat cold. You can start booking campgrounds in February. 6 weeks at a campground, and then every 2 weeks move to another campground until that season's over in the middle of October, and it's another year. So I'm really looking forward to my Social Security hearing. Hi. What are you guys doing today? Well, you got the Kennedy cancer. You got what is it? Not following illegal orders. That's it. That's all you're doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene again? Oh, I already had peanuts. Oh, oops. from yesterday because it by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I go, well, forget peanuts and figs. I'm going right to dinner, but I'm not doing that today. My belly's pretty flat, by the way. Just I went to try that shirt on yesterday, and I went, yeah, I guess I will. She insisted that I get try this top on, and I tried it on and went, yeah, I guess she's right, especially with the bathing suit under it, because it's like massive boobs that no one ever sees, by the way. No one ever, including Brian. He has no idea about the boobs, and I don't think he cares. Just visible abs still, even though I've lost so much muscle mass. You just go, yeah. Um, and the hair, just okay. God, now the peanuts will open. Sometimes they do this. I stopped testing them. This one needed to be tested before I bought it. Let me get a different one. Someone else is going to have to open the two peanuts. I got at Ocean State Job Lots. It used to happen at Stop and Shop Quincy all the time. And it was the weirdest thing because the woman at the service desk would just go bloop and open them. You just go, what the fuck, man? Yeah, really weird. Like I said, people that have, like, obviously had really bad relationships, just God isn't going to allow these people to keep rebirthing and running around doing this shit to people. It doesn't matter all the things that, could have happened to them and stuff. It's just know that it pays forward negative energy and shit. It really does. I'm not going to go. Never again doesn't mean if I met someone and I liked them, like I'm purposely not going to go out with people. It doesn't mean that. It means you don't put up with shit. It doesn't mean you can't open your heart and stuff. It's just if something doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. The first weird thing they say, the first shit that doesn't make any sense, they're not complimentary. Right, they're looking at another fucking female, any of that shit. Any of it. You just go, nope, sorry, no. I mean, just don't expect me to like attach to you like in a week, which is dysfunctional anyways. Okay, but just absolutely not. I don't believe in love at first sight and blah blah blah. Nope, none of that crap. The proof is in the pudding. Right, just know for like the first month of a relationship, I just know I assume that everything you're saying is a fucking lie, and we'll just see what happens. Like straightforward. I just because it takes time to get to know a person. Usually, if someone gives you a compliment that seems completely irrational, then it's just made up. But if you know certain things about yourself, then yeah, then it's true. Right, even a sociopath that would say I was beautiful or something, that's clearly true. Right, but you just go, that's nice. I mean, I'm aware of that, and obviously other people tell me that. So no, that dude never gives me compliments. I don't even think he's ever told me I was attractive. Right, I'm not attractive. I'm not cute. I'm not sexy. I'm not hot. None of that. The Lyft driver was talking about how his new girlfriend has him like, is it rollerblading? It's something she has him doing that he never would do. He's like doing it for her benefit, but it's actually good for him because he's doing new things. That's kind of how I was with Phil. Right, they inspire you to like have interest in other things and be more creative. And I would think anybody meeting me, not to give people bullshit to say, but like in the past 2 years I just experienced, like I I I like feel like more appreciation for honesty, people that are morally upright and kind and truthful and actually can care about people and don't want something from you, and an appreciation for nature and spirituality. And I like realize that there's a whole other view of reality in the world, like a different point of view on things. I have a higher uh, esteem in myself. I expect more from others and stuff like that. I expect more out of my life, and I feel like anything is possible. And I feel secure. I know that I can trust you. I know that you're a faithful person. I know that you like don't even check out other guys. You're never talking about other guys. You don't try to throw your beauty in my face when other people are clearly checking you out and interested in you. Um, you flat out just tell dudes no, like when they're even trying to talk to you. Not I've dragging him down, and it's been months of this, and even in Florida, I used to be so happy go lucky. That guy's never been happy in his fucking life. He was high as fuck, not he was happy. When he talks like that, again, why didn't you just call me? Because he doesn't want to talk to me and he can't talk. That's why he never calls me any of the times. I remember a year ago I'd call him. He couldn't even talk. He was so fucked up. I'm not drunk. I'm high as fuck. Remember that with the photograph of the middle finger in Harvard Square and shit? When I want to think I go to Harvard, then he starts making up things about himself. When you want to think you go to Harvard, he doesn't talk like that now, no. That's when he left here and refused to come back here. And then he's getting blankets and stuff and asking about like tents and sleeping bags like when we were together. Because he was hanging around with John and Donnie in a fucking stairwell after the drug party ends. First, he does a drug party, and I know it's more than Adderall and marijuana, and he'll never admit that he's using other drugs. First, it's a drug party, and then when that runs its course, he drinks with the drunks in the stairwell because the drunks in the stairwell told me he goes out to the woods to smoke drugs, which is probably meth and crack. I know I'm not paranoid. I don't make up things. People tell me. His own friends tell me. And they were mad because he was demanding money and booze from them and telling them he was going to get paid. And they knew the second that I came around, he was handing that money right over to fucking me. They knew that. No worries, druggie. I don't plan on enforcing the power of attorney. Even though I could probably go right to a DTA office and show them the power of attorney. I don't want to. There's no point. I don't want to be bothered with this bullshit anymore. I'm done with it. You have to remember, I went to Orleans and looked at an apartment. I thought I was getting an apartment. So if I was moving into an apartment, I'd need the power of attorney because he could just take off and not pay his rent. I'm not section 35ing him. I'm not section 12ing him. I'm not gonna call the police looking for him like I did a year ago. I'm not gonna go looking for him myself. I'm not gonna call him tomorrow. He actually said that on Tuesday night. You know you're gonna call me tomorrow. Like, dude, you know I'm not gonna call you tomorrow. All you had to do, and for my saving grace, God made you think not to do it. All you had to do was go right to where we fucking sleep Tuesday night, and none of this would be going on. You'd be sitting in that fucking chair right now, which is a living, breathing to you, and you know it. You know you don't want that. You don't want to be stuck with me in a normal fucking thing because you don't even like me. You're not sexually attracted to me. You don't want to conversate with me. You never have any fun with me. Just leave it the fuck alone. I'm not your new fucking mother. I'm no one's new fucking mother. Like you really don't understand the full extent of why I got rid of Al when he started talking to me like I was his fucking mother too. Stop yelling at me. I'm not yelling. I'm having an adult conversation, and this is gross. I'm not your mother. You're a man. Yeah, if you have issues like that, don't go out with an adult woman, especially who's sober. I'm not the chick screwing her daughter's 14-year-old boyfriend and having a kid with them. Okay? You need to think, why didn't I just stay married to the guy I was with? Why didn't I go to court and take power of attorney over my own mother? I'm no one's caretaker. Same conversation. I am not taking you to my sister's when you're doing this. And what can I possibly do? Like, with the whole I'm abandoning him, you're abandoning me, not I'm abandoning you. Enough. Okay, really enough. What can I do for you? I don't want to abandon you outside, but what can I possibly do for you? Like, we should formulate a plan about what's going to happen because it's Tuesday night, it's not Thursday morning. We would have had the whole day to calmly discuss it. And I probably would have said, I think you should go to Pine Street. We need to stop it with this. Mm-mm. When you're pulled back from your screaming and insults and meanness at me, that could be God putting you in a persona. That's not your actual self, Brian. Okay? Your actual self is the person who calls me an old cunt and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, refusing to have sex. That's your real self. You're on a mood stabilizer for a reason. This is pretty darn good, the dried figs and the peanuts. Different species. Right now, I'm eating beef like every night. My sister just went and got me some more beef. She literally just went and got me more beef because I eat both beefs. No one's touched that ice cream because her and I don't like cookies and cream, and I don't think we're big ice cream people. We'll probably end up going in the trash eventually. Right, just open a refrigerator and just. That's what I mean by never again. Everyone around here that's met this guy has tried to do nothing but like he's on the fucking spectrum or something and he's 3 years old. All for nothing. We're not discussing street people. So much time has gone by, right? That he's been living on the street, and it's probably everybody probably pertains to everybody that someone like this in their family, and the family is like moved on, and just know this: he's still stuck in a time warp from his childhood, and he hasn't changed at all. He hasn't changed at all. He's probably gotten way worse. He's not any better. Um, he didn't. He stopped even talking about his brother and shit too. I don't think he really cares about his family. No. At first, right after the brain surgery, but Remember all that nonsense about the aunt? Never talks about her anymore. Because I think he realizes after so much time and a long time of sobriety that they don't want anything to do with them. Like I think he did realize that after the brain surgery when they never came back to the hospital after he woke up. He told me he talked to his mother on the phone, asked her to come back, and she said, "I'll be there shortly," and never showed up. You just go, right. And he never cared about, and he never will care about the 1% that did actually care about him and stuck it out through all that crap when there's no reason for me to do it because I'm not a member of his family. He would have to get that stuff through people that are paid to do that, like the nurses in the hospital. I would think people like that are satisfied with that. I remember Barbara Kent used to like going to the VA like that was her day out, her family. They believe those people care about them, and that's all they need for caring. People that are constantly catering to them and giving them things and taking care of them. They don't have any ability to do anything in return. Now the $10 commuter rail pass will just go to waste because unless I would use it in December. I know. I wanted Steve to have it because the library's going to be closed. Yeah, I definitely try to keep your phone. All the people right now after the brain surgery said, "Oh, I wish I had known." They all knew. I'm all over the internet. Remember? They all knew. They're lying. But what I would do is tell yourself that they're not lying and gather up everybody's Facebook because you can still access your Facebook when you don't know their phone numbers. So keep them all on Facebook, gather people's phone numbers. That way, if you forget their phone number, you lose your phone, you can go on Facebook and tell them, and then still watch them do nothing. He said that his brother told him, "Oh, you made me cry. I thought you were going to die. You made me cry." Like, just even the conversations are so fucked up and dysfunctional. I would think when he finally dies and his family's informed, I'm sure they might shed a tear because it's like a relief. Like, yeah, it's like a relief. It's like such a grieving process when people are that mentally ill. Yeah, it's not like you really miss the person. It's just finally, you know, at least they're not still out doing all this gross stuff. When I talk about stuff like when you said text you're a mean woman, it's like I've had time to ponder on it. It's not because I actually believe him or it bothers me, but you want the person to know that it doesn't bother you and you're not just saying that. Like my friend Casey that broke down at the shelter module and told people she didn't know if she believed in God anymore because of the way that this person has treated me. Because she knows me and she just can't believe that God would allow a person like that to harm me like that. So I don't believe that I'm a mean person. I don't believe you think I'm a mean person. Okay. Um, you might get a gratification thinking that I believe you, that you think I'm a mean person. That's another way to hurt me. Like a child tries to hurt a mother that doesn't want you, never wanted you. If I was a mean person, I probably wouldn't be negative, by the way. Usually, some of these really upbeat people, in times of certain things, they're actually mean. Mean people love the Antichrist. Mean people love the Antichrist. Mean people love when good, moral, beautiful people's lives get destroyed. They love it. It makes them happy. Not they get negative and mean. Oh, college. I'm like, are these real football players? They look tiny. Yeah, they look tiny for football players. I know it looks like it's gonna snow. What's the high supposed to be today? Because it is really cold outside. It wasn't cold like this yesterday or the day before. They look like people out at the bench, but then they cross the street. Yeah, I must have been really hungry to still eating. I think I look this good because I haven't been eating a lot of carbohydrates and salt, like simple carbs. Right. I had 6 weeks at a campground. Well, I was still eating tortillas. Even that's not as bad. And since the days that I come here, I can eat fruits and vegetables. Right. There was only a couple of days since the last time I was here that I even ate like stuff from MAP. That's why my skin looks like it does. I look fucking fabulous. I was just like, oh my God, when I got in that hotel, you go, could you imagine a dude just screaming at a fucking beautiful woman like that? It's shocking, isn't it? Your wife like a fucking movie star or model. She's a cunt. She's the old cunt. She's a cunt. You got some serious fucking mental problems, yo. Yeah, like I don't even know if a psycho female would like that, but that just leaves the deviant dudes that aren't actually gay. You go, because they can't fuck me either. You really are not getting it. Those people are not gay. You need to meet some homosexuals. It's just like a straight person. They date, they court, and they get married. Some of them have children. All that other weird stuff, they're not homosexuals. They're completely fucked up straight people. It's wickedly insulting to go, oh my God, a bathhouse, so he's gay? No, that's not gay. Nope, that's not gay. Hey, mutual hand jobs and then share an Airbnb with me for one night. That's not gay. That's wicked insulting to homosexuals. Anyway, yeah, you just go, oh God, vomit, vomit. I'd vomit every morning too. I would vomit every morning too, just doing the most grotesque shit, and you can't stop fucking doing it. And then you can't, at least at times, think that that's exciting and something to do. It's just like, oh my God, like you're just repeatedly being fucking abused over and over and over again, and you're doing it to yourself. Do those people become the brother and the father that actually cared about you at the time? Like, oh my God. Ugh. Just brains all fucked up between emotional attachment and bonding and caring that you want with a parent is a sex arousal. Just ugh, gross. Ask a fucking psychiatrist, dude, how paranoid and fucked up and shit I make up and say is. A BS in psychology, it's research psychology. Talk about no one can solve a fucking puzzle at Disney World. I told my sister too. I'm like so proud of myself. It had to be God so that there'd be nothing left for me to like think I didn't say, or that's why I don't say anything on fucking Facebook. I said it all calmly and very straightforwardly in about 1 minute on Tuesday night on the bench. I can't believe some of the stuff that you say to me, Brian. I really can't. Because he still wasn't even apologizing. I'm sorry. I think, don't get mad at me, but I know you're probably upset about your mother. And it's not a time for us to get in a fight because clearly, that's a big deal if your mother's going to die. Okay? Because the guy doesn't care about me. And he wants to all the time have an excuse to take off. Just take off and leave and don't go near Mary again. No one takes off like that, Brian. It's like 7, 8 times. Just stay permanently away from me. You'll find somebody else, whatever it is you think you're looking for. You don't want a wife. You guys weren't even having sex, and now you keep texting it to her. Every time you take off, you're throwing it in her face. You're so abusive. You're so abusive. You're just telling a beautiful woman over and over again that she's so unattractive you can't even fuck her. And you're clearly doing it on purpose. You're just so horrifyingly abusive. Whatever it is, you want to drink, do drugs, you want to have sex with guys, you want to meet a different type of female, whatever it is, you're so abusive. It's so heavy on a person's soul to find out about it and then actually see you doing it. This isn't just Mary's version of what happened. You do it in front of people, and it's the same thing over and over again. And it's in text messages what you're doing. You text it to her about you're bringing up the rape, and then you're saying again, we barely even did it anyway. Like, it's so abusive and insane. Just leave her alone. Everyone gets it, Brian. Everyone gets it. Whatever, you got married because you didn't have sex before you got married. You got married, you had sex once and realized you can't even have sex with her. You're so disgusted or not attracted to her. You should have just left after the honeymoon. Right. It's just really, it's not about drinking. It's not about drinking. It's not about pot smoking. All that shit is secondary to in your mental illness. You demanded to be put on 15 medications that make you impotent. You demanded more and more. Even after you left Spalding, you asked for two more medications. You don't feel bad that you can't perform as a husband. You don't feel bad. You stated that at Harold Parker State Forest. You don't feel bad. For him, it has to do with being alone. Yeah, it definitely for him has to do with being alone. Any second thoughts about doing all that shit to me and just taking off without a second thought. It's all when he feels he's alone again. Sure, I can go over that part again about how this business was telling me that I'm gonna regret something and that uh, trying to make me think that I did something wrong and I'm gonna regret and I'm gonna want to talk to you. That you're transferring your mother onto me. I am not your mother. Okay. Um, there's not a possible way for you to keep convincing me that I did something, and your mother never cared about you. It never worked on your mother, and it never had any effect on your mother either. Whatever you and your brother were doing with each other and doing to other children, your mother didn't care. Okay? You were never secretly hurting your mother. And I don't know if your father was abusing the two of you. You were never secretly hurting your mother. Okay? You need to talk to other women who lost their children. Okay? Okay, you really. She would have gone to psychotherapy and stuff to find out what was going on with you guys. She wouldn't have just sent you off to foster care and left you there. Like she sent you to foster care and left you there. She didn't even come back to the hospital to visit you when she said she would. She's never cared about you and she's never going to care about you. It happens. It's like a person who should have put you up for adoption the second you came out of her vagina. She has no attachment to you. None. The foster parents didn't either because you aged out and they didn't adopt you. Right, because clearly you wouldn't have sex with your mother. Okay? So you're completely transferring your mother onto me. I am not your mother and I can't help you anymore. I don't know. They had it on the news once and it was disgusting to me then, and it's still disgusting. Maybe find some old person who's going to claim that she's not trying to fantasize about doing you. See if you can find one that lies, because no person just does this. They're all gross. And she's going to allow you to pretend that she's your mother and you can live with her and she's your caretaker because she lost a child from cancer in a car accident or something. So this helps her heal. And leave me the fuck alone. She'll get mad at you about other shit and claim it's not because she thought that you were going to secretly be her secret, at least masturbation person. Whereas I just go, there's no fucking way I'm doing this. You said you were going to be a husband that has sex and acts like a regular fucking husband. You lied. Just like you lied to some of your Johns. Right, you actually convinced a dumb John, because I'm sure that's what you think of me, to fucking marry you because of proper courting. Where these other people, it's one or two nights and there you go. No, you're out. It's not you're boring, it's you're impotent. You're out. I'm sure you told that OD guy, because based on what you told me, that you were going to bring him females. That's what you told him. I heard you doing it with that weird guy in Quincy Center when I first met you. You told him that you were gonna set him up with fucking Vanessa. That's the shit you do to get dudes to let you into their place where they are, or get a hotel, or get an Airbnb. So yeah, sometimes you get beaten up. Whichever avenue you're using, if they're not into your dick, then you're telling them you can get them females, and you don't produce any of it. I don't know. You could sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Explore if the father, if he had allow sexual things with the father, or the father wouldn't talk to him anymore, or he had to perform with someone to be allowed to visit with the father. I still think that part of it's tied to the father, right? Um, his mind might have thought that's what it was, or someone told him that. If you're not going to be nice tonight, then you're not going to see dad tomorrow, or something. It's kind of a wonderment after the foster care that he kept having interaction with the other abuse victim. Is that because the other family members were still allowed to have contact with him? Were they friends? Both sets of parents, were they friends? I would think they were. Okay. So they're probably drug users too. Um, Brian stated the foster mother was trying to put a stop to it. Maybe refuse to foster a child that still has contact with any family member, because that doesn't make sense. You want contact with this child, you take them into your house. That must have been a living, breathing hell for that set of foster parents. So, as this person's put in DCF custody because of the repeated rapes going on by pedophiles having children, having sex acts in front of them, um, he's put into foster care, and then those people are still allowed to have contact with him, and they're facilitating that disgusting thing continuing to go on, that even the foster care parents can't stop. Yeah, well, he was born in 87, so this is the early 1990s. I think he was like 6 when he went into DCF custody. We're talking 1990. Attleboro? That's where they lived, right? Really bad. None of those people should have any contact with each other at all. That's like really bad. Not even all of it. Just started talking to other people about it, and just right off the bat, the complete consensus is that the brother had to have been molesting him. I didn't even get a chance to discuss with them the 10-year-old that attempted suicide by hanging and is now brain damaged because of it. Okay. Brian spent the entire day with the 10-year-old, and then suddenly a 10-year-old attempts suicide by hanging. That day, did they go to Revere Beach? Someone in the family knows. Not everyone handles sex abuse followed by sadistic insanity the same way. That child didn't have the same chemical makeup that Brian has. I'm not saying he per se molested the 10-year-old, but he's so cruel. He did something to him, obviously. How do you spend the day with the 10-year-old, and then that evening the 10-year-old tries to he hangs himself, and he ends up with brain injury from it? How does that happen? Some people that abuse children, they do it to actually harm them. They're not pedophiles. It's just another form of abuse. So yeah, you could have someone being mean and hitting them and sodomizing them, like the Menendez brothers described. It's not really about getting off. I mean, I suppose they could get off the damage they're doing to a child because they don't like children. They don't like happy people. That's a certain type of abuse. So people that are victims of that type of abuse are not going to manifest the same things as people that are victims of pedophiles. I think that Brian Buchanan has been abused by both different types of abusers, in my opinion, because I've been around him for 2.5 years intimately. He still actually believes that the 14-year-old's parents are not pedophiles. That's, you just go, whoa. Liked him and they let him live in the house because they're pedophiles, and then they made you two people get your own apartment, right? Because you weren't children anymore. Right, you don't start drinking heavily because your father died if your father wasn't abusing you. That's not how it works, and he wouldn't know that when he makes up these sob stories about himself. Right, he wouldn't know that. It's not a normal person. It's not even like a regular sociopath. Right. He would know that doesn't make any sense. You'd be sad that your father died, but it doesn't make you decide you're going to drink yourself to death and you're going to smoke yourself to death and stuff. He was like 22 years old, so his brain was becoming into adulthood. I would say that's why he started drinking like that. He'll lie and tell you different stories too, like he really didn't smoke or something, and then he suddenly started smoking, or like he wasn't doing drugs or something. But yet you were on drugs when your father was still living. You were on drugs as a child because you said your father didn't like you on all those drugs. Tell lies to a person who doesn't remember things that people say. Not everyone needs a notebook. People that are actual psychologists and psychiatrists, they actually have an interest in what you're saying, especially research psychology. They have an interest in what you're saying. Okay. It's like solving a puzzle or watching a 48 hours or you like to figure out things. It's a skill. It's something cool like winning Nintendo 64. That's why they don't need a book. I'm not against notebooks. I think yes, especially at the beginning, person's name, mother, father, other family members, blah blah blah, earliest childhood memory. Well, if that one's out of the bag, I don't know if they asked him that or not. You're supposed to ask them what their earliest childhood memory is. Yes, that's what you're supposed to ask them. It's like an instant, not psych eval, but it's an instant, like psych profile. You don't stick to that like cement, but it's the beginning of the Rubik's cube. It helps you figure out other things to ask, like a mechanic. Okay, so what is it? Okay, oil came out over there. Okay, so when what you started the car, what happened? What time did the oil come out? Okay, because you as a mechanic go, if they start the car and oil comes out, if they have the car started, they put it in drive, oil comes out, they hit the brakes, oil comes out. Those mean different things. They know the different scenarios about why oil comes out in that spot. God tells us. Yep, God tells us. It's like solving an equation. I guess I would describe it like that. There's all different variances of things, but over time, it's just God tells us what to ask. So if you go into a therapist and they're never asking you anything, just talk. It's better than having nobody just talk for the hour. That's why I like psychiatrists because I think they ask questions more. Um, that's a lot of schooling and a lot of money. And people don't want people to go to college because they have a default on a student loan they don't have. That way, a mentally retarded person can be a therapist. Okay? That is what is going on in your world. Don't worry, God's killing them all. But it is that. None of it is based on academics. None of it. And if you're given free college and then you try to go, they'll make up a reason you can't because these people are mentally retarded like the AI. And someone like me, nope. So your earliest childhood memory. I don't think I've ever asked him that. What's mine? My mother's sister apparently had a dog, which was a Chihuahua, and I was laying in a crib looking through crib slats, and I remember seeing the dog. She had the dog for years, so yeah, it's not like a made up memory. And then I asked my mother when they were here, but it doesn't mean it was here. By the way, couldn't you have someone in one of those cribs if you brought it with you? They used to make playpens with slats like that too. So it could have been actually 1971 and 1972. It's called We Do Not Forget for a reason. It's eidetic memory. What we've seen, what has been made manifest. It's in the Holy Bible. It's a species. Over 2 hours. It's going to take about 3 days to hit YouTube. I know. Eventually, there's a laptop here that has to be plugged in all the time. I think I can live stream on it, and it might have a Facebook page on it. I tried that with the other laptop, and apparently they already had. They probably went in as soon as I said that. They probably went in and got rid of all the Facebook pages. Who fucking cares? So I'm not reconnecting. Excellent. You can't reconnect when you won't let a person on Facebook. So now you have to turn it into that's something you can do. Maybe you can go all over YouTube because it's got to be something I can see, right? I don't even think I have to see it actually. No, it's that mentally insane. We can all can. Isn't this great? We all have Facebook. Remember when they were like we can Skype and stuff on the thing? Remember that during that COVID business? I went, whoa, that's when it got really. I've gotten somewhat used to how insane people are. Oh, this is awesome because of Facebook. I reconnected with my six kidney tube. That's how anybody that sounds like a way that they could torment me and torture me becomes famous. That's how it happens. They pay right attention to them. It becomes top on YouTube. People put it on Reels on Facebook. They interview them on Good Morning America. That's how that happens because those people want me to see it. They might be going, look how sick these fucking people are, or they're doing it purposely to try to hurt me. It depends. You know. Sometimes they think they're going, look how sick these fucking people are, when in actuality they're just trying to hurt me. So yeah, you would see that. You absolutely that's a good way to explain it to you, the 15 years of my life. Oh, and today we have Robert B. Bulletin, and because of Facebook and community outreach, because people are so wonderful, especially when it's someone who's really deserving of attention and really deserving of the community's help. It's great when good people get help that they need. And because she was so grateful to us reaching out to her, um, here she is where she got screwed out of her Florida alimony, and her six children were taken, unfortunately, because of her crack smoking, but then she stopped. And then, fuck you, Mary. That's exactly what they do 15 years of my life. Because Colleen is fun and she doesn't want to talk about all this world stuff. Don't fucking go out with me. Don't fucking go out with me. Right, because I say stuff too. You go, you got a baby mama and what? Okay, yeah, no. And no, for the record, I'm not triggered like every fucking day of my life, by the way. That's another reason why it's so insane. You just go, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, you're some weirdness, and then I'm surprised he didn't bring up his fucking aunt he doesn't even talk to. Right. Your aunt didn't raise you. You grew up in fucking foster care. Your aunt doesn't even let you live with you. You never had a fucking mother. I had a bad mother, a bad dysfunctional mother, but I still had a fucking mother. I was never put in DCF or fucking foster care. And then I'm in the hospital. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'll be back later, and never fucking showed up. I had a mentally ill mother who made a lot of fucking mistakes. Yeah. Not I had no mother. Right. You just go, of all the people in my family, yeah, you go. she got dementia and started throwing me out of the fucking house because there was a whole bunch of shit going on at the time, and she probably kept forgetting who I was. Yeah, I mean, when your mother's trying to block you from food and she's pissing herself, she has dementia. Not she was like that my entire fucking life. Right. You know that it's bad too when a person like Brian still idealizes his fucking parents. You go, whoa, you are so fucked up. Don't even come near. Your mother is still living and you're outside like that? Why didn't she come to your fucking wedding? Why didn't your aunt? Oh, because your aunt had heart surgery. Why have they never invited you and Mary to their fucking place? Cindy had never met you and she let you go to Plymouth for a night. We weren't even married then. You've come to my sister's apartment 2 years in a fucking row repeatedly. My mother doesn't have a place anymore. Oh yeah, you just go. He talked to his fucking brother and his mother. I've never met these fucking people. That's not a family. That's not a family. But yet they still fucking talk to him when he goes in a hospital and is about to die. I'm 54 years old. I want my own fucking apartment. I'm not living with other people again. I did that for about 10, 11 fucking years, which was insane then. Like, understand what I was fucking bitching about and complaining about for, what, 12 years? I should have never been in a room in their house. I owned a fucking house. Brian doesn't talk like that. Because, first of all, he was never a fucking adult. No, he doesn't talk like that. He would move in with any of those people in a heartbeat. He has said this to me once or twice, and honestly, I should have slapped his fucking face then. Oh, yeah, I do have this one person, but I can't go there if I'm with you. So that's one of your Johns? Okay. He hasn't said that in a while. No. Like after the brain injury, I actually let him fucking fool me again that maybe they knocked some brain matter out of his fucking head and it was going to be different. Right? Like, okay, you pissed on the floor, you can't remember anything. Okay. And he keeps claiming every once in a while he gets dizzy. Okay. You're on like 15 medications. I'm sure that's why you're dizzy. Your blood pressure is probably extremely low. You forget to drink liquids because you're on that phone all the time. Okay. You still won't stop drinking energy drinks. I had you maybe having one of those a day, two tops, when I would prefer we wouldn't have them at all. Okay. So right. He obviously seemed brain damaged to me. And it was like, all right, well, maybe he's changed and he's not going to do that shit anymore. Nope, he's still doing that shit. There could be something that he did with the brother when they were interacting, where the brother went, oh God, he's doing that fucking shit again, and then stopped talking to him again. Right. Because some conversations you're not aware of that have a meaning to the person they're talking to. Like that when you know a person's going to cycle. Say that Brian started talking about when they used to take off or something, and the guy went, because whatever was going on. Or he found out that Brian told me that he went to jail for molesting the neighborhood kid. That would be a cause to stop talking to him. Right, because then the whole planet knows. Maybe the whole planet should know that. Yeah. Uh, I don't know if they sell those kind of records. They shouldn't. But maybe the whole planet should know a person, even if they're a minor, went to jail for molesting another minor. I think that, yeah, I think that that probably the planet should know that. But if you've changed, you changed, and that the proof is in the pudding. But or Brian was texting him, or started sending him weirder videos or something, and it was like that. If the brother realized that Brian still hasn't stopped doing the fucking weird ass behavior they all used to do, that's a reason to block someone and stop talking to them. I had a family member. I'm not going to get into the details about it, but the conversation started getting weird, and so I told the person, "That's it. I'm getting off the phone now." I hung up and I blocked their number. So I've had it happen to me. So that stuff does happen. Yeah, because he doesn't talk about his brother anymore. That was only right after the hospital. He did a couple of TikTok videos. I don't think he's doing TikTok videos anymore. Whatever happened there, he stopped doing that. He did a couple of TikTok videos. He called his brother a couple times, texted his brother. He makes up retarded reasons to contact his brother, by the way. I noticed it at the campground. So I don't know if that was the thing that the brother went, oh God, he's doing that fucking thing now. Um, he was trying to think of some movie, some character in a movie or an actor in a movie, and he actually goes, I'm going to text my brother and see if he knows. I guess to me, if you had regular contact with your brother, that wouldn't be weird to me at all. Yeah, but the fact that he doesn't, that's why it's weird. But I guess I didn't think it was weird at the time. Yeah, I didn't think it was weird at the time, but in retrospect, yeah, like I don't know, sometimes I purposely don't bring up stuff because I wouldn't want Brian to feel bad. Like now I don't care, but back then, as to why I didn't go, are you still talking to your brother? Like, have you been talking to him on the phone or texting with them, or is he on Facebook, or yeah, because things that quote unquote even abnormal people do in a relationship when you're married. Okay, maybe that's where the I'm negative is coming from. Just a complete um, unawareness of what how adults are, how other people. I don't know if I should say normal, typical people. Where at some point in the day you go, I'm a little bit kind of, I'm a little bit kind of bummed or mad or bewildered or something because all of a sudden, like I thought that I was going to reconnect with my brother after the brain surgery, but I notice he doesn't call me, he doesn't return my text. Brian never talks like that. So whatever was going on in his entire upbringing, people didn't appear to him to talk to each other like that, or and they never. He's never had anybody that he's ever talked to about things going on in his mind. Has no concept of even how to do that. Yeah, because I'm too damaged to be in a relationship. I would say for me, I'm not everybody's marriage, right? But for me, especially in a marriage, if not a relationship, or like a long term relationship, not when you first meet the person, but you're talking about your feelings like it's a person, the closest person that you are intimately. So the closest person that you are with intimately, you still don't even talk ever about what's going on your mind, what your emotions are. That's what's going on in the brain. That's why I said it's almost like Mike Myers, like, you I don't know if they have a way to put stuff on his brain and can you and measure wavelengths to see if there's thought going on and he's lying to you about what the thoughts are. Right, say that you those MRI things with the colors that light up when certain brain is being stimulated, okay, um, and if you just after the experiment where you give you say things and topics and questions, and then you ask them what they're thinking right now, and they say, "I'm not really having anything." Okay, once you can somehow establish they're not lying to you and they just don't wanna tell you their thoughts, there's something going on where the brain is not communicating with itself. Because there's clearly reasoning going on in the brain. That's what those machines tell you. It that God actually blocks it. But then you go, okay, God, I get it if you're blocking it, right? But why would you allow the machinery to light up at all? Maybe that's the way. Okay, if God is blocking it though, why am I seeing on my MRI screen or my little zippy things that measure brain activity? Why am I seeing this brain activity going on when you say you're not thinking about anything? I think I'm pretty good about being honest with Brian, right? Because sometimes there is a reason for that a person doesn't express everything in their head. One, there's not a need to, especially if it hurts another person, or you feel that discussing something, there wouldn't be a you should have secret thoughts about anything in the marriage. It's different from any other relationship you have with another being. If you had all that shit rolling around in your head, Brian Buchanan, then why did you stay with me? Why didn't you tell me that that shit was going? Many times I've asked. That's why you're so bad. Because what you were saying wasn't even shocking to yourself, so you know those are your thoughts. So when you're sitting somewhere and people are talking and you're on your phone, what's actually going on in the background in your brain? Because no one's that quiet. We could believe that you're completely void and brain damaged and retarded, but for when you have these outbursts, you say a whole bunch of shit and it's not word salad. You're not doing what Jen does. Those are your actual thoughts about people. You're grossed out about Colleen, you think she's gross, and I think you're grossed out about yourself because you know you have some weird sexual attraction to her when she's gross and she looks disgusting, and then you're mad that she took off because you thought that you were playing her with your dick and stuff too. You didn't think she was manipulating. You didn't think she was actually hanging around with you because of me, and you didn't think that she was just using you for your Adderall. You tell yourself that after she rejected you, You are telling yourself that you were with her because she had booze. There has to be a certain level of brain process going on where you're able to pinpoint what you think are things that bother me. I don't believe that a mentally incompetent person could actually do that. I also explained that I don't think people in manic episodes do what Brian Buchanan does either. Because I know my mother and I know Jen to a certain extent when I was around her. And like I said, I think he develops grandiosity about his victims' family members. He told me about the child. He thought that her family liked him better than her. He had a female friend apparently that was a lesbian, and then he thought that her family was rejecting her but liked him. And he started talking insane shit like that to me about my sister. I've discussed it with her. I was talking to her about when we were here last year and he did that big flip out. And then as soon as she came into the hallway, he immediately went back into his persona. I mean, you could say that God is putting that persona on to control him. And just stop and like go back to calmness. And Jen never did either. They literally can't control. So he's either controlling it or God is because Jen's flipped out at the library. She's flipped out at the shelter and stuff. She's in a hotel room, and she doesn't just all of a sudden snap out of it like into like dum dumhood like Brian does. Right? She has to go to the hospital. She has to go to the hospital to be medicated. What's up, dog? It's almost getting to that time I said I was going to have to take a nap. I think I'm actually going to turn these lights on because I can use my regular phone plug when the lights are on. Phone charger thing. What did I do with it now? Here we are. Try not to have my stuff all over the place. It's only 2:30, but the sun has not come out today. Yeah, I have a little bit of lung fatigue from the one day of not eating and then the 2 days at dinner. But it did make my belly flatter. That's what happens because I'm not used to doing it and I'm smoking. And usually I drink a ton of fluid and I get plenty of sleep. I'm sleeping. Yeah, I even slept the night in the hotel. It's just that Tuesday night I only slept an hour. Like basically my body had to get like so fatigued that I thought in my mind could slow down after the trauma. I don't know. I don't take medication and I'm not a doctor as to why he's able to have these upsets like that and then go right to sleep. Um, I would theorize it's because he satisfied some sort of an itch he was having. He satisfied some kind of an itch he was having, and it doesn't have. He doesn't get upset by upsetting other people, and he doesn't regret upsetting other people. None of his like emotional state or behaviors and speech has to do with regretting hurting me because he doesn't have any attachment to me at all. I believe he has complete attachment disorder and is an adult. And many of the behaviors of that is still a child that has attachment disorder and not even antisocial personality disorder. Just the weird types of speech and the still obvious transference onto me from his mother. Right, stuck in a time warp. If his brain is so sick he lies to himself, even saying how was Mary on the internet? If you might say you never said that, but I'm letting you know you did. And then you said I go to the internet like it's a script. Like I'm on the internet. When was I on the internet talking about you? Are you stuck in a time warp from when I had Facebook? Or you went to my Twitter and my YouTube channel and didn't tell me you were doing it? Not normal. Not normal at all. If I say I went to Facebook or Twitter and saw that my husband had an online account and said a bunch of stuff about me, right? I would ask him about it. I'd go, I just want to have a calm conversation with you. I searched Twitter and I saw that you have a Twitter account, and I saw maybe even show it to me or show it to him, and he can go, I see that you were saying this, so I think we should talk about it. Okay, that would be a normal quote unquote person. Right, you either let something go or but I think having a spouse and you find out they have a Twitter, or I told you I had a Twitter, you knew I was live streaming. If you ever went to it and looked at it and didn't tell me, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. It wouldn't even matter what I was saying. Hopefully, other people would tell you that. Like, yeah, I mean, one, definitely stay away from her. But I mean, do you think you should process what just happened, or you don't care, like about your own self? Do you have any caring about what's normal or what other people do, or that's fucked up to do? That's fucked up to do. Yep. It's fucked up to marry someone because you want to drink that day. It's fucked up to pretend you want someone to spend the night with you and then go, I only want my phone back, bitch. It's fucked up to marry someone you're not attracted to. Realize that on a honeymoon or over the course of a couple of weeks, and then continue to stay with that person and keep telling that person that they're sabotaging a relationship that you were never in. Did you destroy the good night text? Did you repeatedly take off? Did you spend Thanksgiving with a female? You really never should have contacted Mary again. And I know that you showed up at Stop and Shop. First of all, the weird thing with the restraining order was just a way to try to get my attention. And just the behavior, too. Bye, bitch. Okay. Rather than believe that rather than believe that Colleen spoke with Jay and he beat you up because of Colleen, you still wanted to believe it was because of me. Why did you lose your apartment? The psychiatrist did ask him that. And he didn't know how many years he's been homeless or when he started using drugs or something. Why did you lose your apartment? Because you're a drug addict and you're mentally incompetent in terms of that. I shouldn't say mentally incompetent. Because you're a drug addict and you're mentally ill. That's why you lost your apartment. The female that you were in an unfortunate thing with because of child abuse met another man and started going out with him and left. And then you brought one of your friends in and you couldn't maintain the apartment. That's why you're homeless. You were in several specialized housing that you left and destroyed. You didn't lose the halfway house because of a Quincy police officer. The halfway house wasn't even in Quincy. You were hanging around with Shane, who I believe died, because he got you into a hotel room. And then because he went to the hospital, you started bothering me again. I'm somewhat familiar with causing fights and then trying to go out using and then coming back. Right. I've talked to other drug addicts. Right. They just go off and use and then they grovel back with their family or their girlfriend or boyfriend. They don't continue to still keep trying to blame that person for what happened. Hopefully, there'll be something else on the TV. I might take a nap or talk about something else. Well, it's almighty and I'm not outside, but I mean, obviously, if I was like, right, I think when I was in the shelter, I was mostly talking to other people and somewhat doing this and, right, just the nature of all the other stuff that's going on with me. Yeah. I think if I had to guess, people that are not homeless and maybe they work or whatever, right? And they have something like this happen. It's not that they're not thinking about it in their mind, right? It's just they're sort of not just like nothing else really to do. And then when you start doing other things or just time goes by, I can't remember now. Wasn't it a while that I was talking about him in 23 when I thought he died? It was a while. And then deranged people. One of them was probably Brian Buchanan himself. Was saying stuff to me all over the internet. That's never happened again since we got back together. No, wait, I'm wrong. It did happen once. That Jamie Fitzsimmons person. Yeah, it did happen one other time, and then I think that person went away. Um, so even Jamie Fitzsimmons tired of it. Remember how insane that was in 2023? Yeah, it'll take me a little bit more time to reflect on what I just friggin' went through. Well, interestingly enough, a couple of weeks ago, Jen texted me. And of course, she suggested about going back to the shelter because it's getting cold out when I told her I was still outside. That's not possible, Jen. Hopefully, she's doing all right because sometimes she reaches out to me because she knows she can if she's like failing. I don't know if eventually I'll have another boyfriend, obviously. It's not that I'm not over it, it's just